Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 31 for October 7th, 2020. I am Nemesis and I am joined by Alcatraz.
Hello.
The fall 2020 anime season has started. A bunch of new stuff,
has.
a ton of new stuff as I found out last night.
Yeah, what we're in counting into the 30s?
Yeah, and that's not including the movies and stuff that are coming out as well.
Yeah.
There's one of those things is the new Love Live that just premiered. We'll probably be talking about that at some point in the future.
Probably, because how could you ever ignore that?
Of course. I can probably be watching it as the show comes out, I think.
Yep.
I'm not sure. Depends
of course you are.
Yeah. Well, it depends.
Why
It might be if we
wouldn't you?
were watching it, if we were doing it for the podcast real short after it aired, I don't want to have to watch it again immediately.
Oh, no. Not like you haven't watched the rest of Love Live at least multiple times.
Shut up. The other thing, is apparently we're getting Evangelion is coming to Blu-ray for the first time in the U.S. Next year.
Yeah.
G-Kids got the license. It's probably going to be the same sub and dub as the Netflix version, so that's a bit unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I guess we aren't worthy of the grace of the old one.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about the new stuff yet. We'll get to that pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, that is coming up pretty quick.
Yeah, we're actually talking about something actually very old now.
Yeah. Like
Older than either of us, actually.
Oof. Yeah. Not by much.
Not by much, but still.
Not by much. It's only got, what, a year on you?
Actually, less than a year. Less than a year because
Yeah.
of timing. But it's an old horror movie called Lily Cat. C.A.T. Yes. But yeah, they say cat in the movie, so I'm going to say Lily Cat, and it's just easier to say.
Yep.
Yeah, it came out in September of 1987.
Wow.
It's a kind of short movie. It's actually about just shy of 70 minutes long. Just shy of it. The Wikipedia article's wrong. I know because I watched it.
Well, I mean, you can always just edit it. It is Wikipedia.
I don't want to do that, though.
I'm too lazy.
But yeah, it's a horror movie, as I said, because it is October, and it's okay. A science team goes out in space and encounters an alien organism. There you go. There's your plot.
There's your quick synopsis.
Yeah, it's very.
It's not the worst.
No, but it's not particularly good either.
Not the best either.
Yeah, I haven't really watched a whole lot of horror anything. I don't watch a whole lot of it, but this is very tame by any standard, really. Even in 80 standards, it's pretty tame. The other thing, it very much just feels kind of like a ripoff of Alien.
I was about to say, it totally is.
I mean, you got, a science team out on a spaceship, isolated, completely out of contact with Earth and everything. And then an alien organism shows up on board somehow, and they're all getting picked off one by one, and they even may have makeshift flamethrowers, and on top of that, they're screwed over by a corporation via a very lifelike robot.
Yep. Also, I mean, the visuals, you start going into the visuals of it, the corridors of the spaceship, and when you actually get to the whole computer mother, and the whole room it's like they just straight up ripped off Alien.
Yeah, and with a little bit of the Thing thrown in as well.
Just a tiny little pinch,
just a pinch of body horror. Not even that extreme, honestly. Again, I've seen worse. I've seen worse in anime.
It started to pick up a little bit, like at the very, very end, on how horror the body horror was, but
like.
Yeah.
I think one we've both seen, a more extreme, I guess, better body horror is Akira.
Yeah, Akira was way more horrific in its body horror.
Yeah, this is just kind of, it's like, it's kind of pretty tame on it. There's a couple cool bits, like, the cat face coming out of a split open human face, but
yeah,
that was one thing.
I mean, at the very end, as it starts like having the previous bodies start showing up again inside the monster, and them screaming. Yeah, that was a little bit more horrific, but
yeah. So the whole thing, and the other thing is the movie really much kind of just throws you in. This
Oh yeah.
here you go. We're about to leave on a spaceship. Yeah, it's on behalf of the SynCam Corporation or whatever. They're going to go out and just, I guess, explore a planet, find a planet to do scientific research on and whatnot. Yeah, it's a crew scientist plus the actual ship crew, and there's a handful of them. I'm not going to go through all the names because honestly, most of them aren't that important.
Most of them
they aren't even alive very long.
Nope.
But you got Captain Mike Hamilton, and you got Jiro Takagi, Nancy Strauch, Dick Barry. Yes, that's his name. And yeah, those are kind of the 4 most important ones because they're the ones who last the longest. Everyone else kind of like, yeah, you existed.
Yep.
Yeah, there's this whole thing that's beginning. They're like doing the cryogenic sleep. They're going to be asleep for 20 years and whatnot.
Yep.
Because it's how far away it is.
Yep. That's actually an interesting plot point that comes up a few times. It's not like in a lot of sci-fi, it's like, oh, we can travel fast at the speed of light. We can go long distances and don't have to deal with time issues. They do the thing with that other sci-fi also does. Like, no, it still takes a long time. So in order for you to live that long, we put you into cryogenic sleep. So it's a 20-year journey
there, and then 20 years
but you
back.
only age like a month.
Yeah, and then it's 20 years back
on the way out.
So it's
yeah, and that comes up a few points because you go on your trip and you come back and everything is different because it's 40 years later.
Mm-hmm.
By the time you come home,
anyone you knew probably was dead,
either dead or
really old,
way older.
Yeah, and we have that whole thing because the captain is kind of like, yeah,
yep, because the captain did it, and it's like, well, now what?
Honestly,
I can't keep up, so I just kept doing it, so I didn't have to deal with it.
Yep, just keep going because what else am I going to do?
Yep.
And the other thing is also
fast the world changes.
The captain is also probably one of the only halfway decent characters in the entire thing. I mean that both in the moral sense and actual writing sense.
Yep.
Everyone else is almost some degree of jerk off, honestly.
Yeah, either there's like no writing at all, because they don't matter,
or if there is writing, it's kind of
really
they're
loose.
Awful people, honestly, in some ways.
Yeah.
Jiro's not too bad, honestly.
Yeah, I would say Jiro has some backstory and some writing and some depth to him, but
not a whole lot.
No one else, compared to anyone else, either literally have no backstory or no personality because they're just there to fill a spot and die, or they're just threadbare, just kind of just a one-bit thing, and that's it.
Yeah, although there was the guy, who the guy brought the shotgun on board. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be an American, because
yeah,
I think. But anyway, he was a jerk, and he was such an over the top jerk. It's like, yep, it's just basically it's your brain just figures out, oh, he's going to be the first one to die.
Yeah, and he was.
Yeah, it's like, oh man,
Morgan W. Scott, I believe.
Yeah, but that guy was like, he was so over the top. It was just kind of funny, just how over the top
it was. Yeah, it was something I've seen a lot before. It's like the caricature when a non-American writer writes a caricature American.
Yeah,
it's just, that's what I expect.
Guns.
Big dude, super wide shoulders, chiseled chin, guns, everything, and
blonde hair,
hyper masculine and kind of stupid.
Yep. Japan loves to do that.
Yep.
Probably better than buck teeth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the whole thing is like, there's the computer, actually, because the thing turns out is the cat of all things, hence the name of the movie.
Really, cat.
Yeah.
It's an acronym. It's like
acronym, huh?
It's an anachronism. That's something completely different. No, everyone on the ship is an anachronism at that point. Yeah, because the whole 40-year difference.
It's an acronym for what was
acronym.
It? Computer
something.
Animal something. Anyway, it's a robot that looks like a cat.
Yeah.
Anyway, it turns out there's the whole thing where they're collecting samples because they detected, it took like life forms out in space. So they collected a sample, and then the life form got into the ventilation system because it's bacteria, and now they're breathing in it's, well, killing them.
Yep.
Like, it's like Legionnaire's disease, as the doctor who died very quickly said.
So very quickly.
And that's also funny. I was just thinking about this, like, you got bacteria and ventilation contamination. Why aren't any of you wearing masks?
Because for this, it would be full-blown respirators.
I know, but still, it's just... I couldn't help but think about that.
Yep.
Timely, by accident, because we had no idea about this.
Yeah, that is a point of note. We have never seen or heard anything really about this. We're just looking for horror anime for October, and this popped up. So,
like, sure, why not?
We went in completely blind.
Yeah, sure, why not? It's kind of, it's a movie. Won't take that long. It's kind of obscure. Why not? Whatever. Right.
And then we get this.
But yeah, the doctor calls it like Legionnaire's disease, and like, yeah, it just kind of gets in the lungs, and then you kind of like freeze up in this horrible, weird thing.
Well, with Legionnaire's disease, and like they explained, it causes pneumonia.
Yeah.
It causes pneumonia, your lungs fill up with fluid, and you suffocate
Yep.
on basically your own fluids.
Yep.
The surprising thing that the doctor said is that he's never seen anything act this fast before. Because it'll go from like nothing to dead within seconds.
Yep. And then all of a sudden, the bodies start disappearing, leaving behind the clothes.
Oh, no.
It's like,
oh no.
Oh God, the Christians are right.
I was about to say.
Man, growing up Protestant was weird.
Yep.
Yeah, so the bodies are disappearing and they're freaking out of it. Because the alarming thing, the first thing is, did someone take the bodies and leave the clothes? That's disturbing. What's going on?
Oh God, I'm just remembering something from high school. Someone said, I probably like a video or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I should repeat it though.
Oh no.
It's like a line from a really bad song.
Oh no.
Involving necrophilia and microwaves.
Oh, right, keep the body warm.
Not necrophilia if it's still warm.
Oh.
That's what microwaves are for.
Yeah, they kind of show, and so that's the other thing. They kind of, sometimes the characters feel like they kind of make the right conclusion off a very flimsy amount of evidence and whatnot. It's really kind of weird how they do that. They somehow know exactly what's going on. Even they go from not knowing to knowing exactly what's going on. And it's like, how did you get to? You don't how?
Well, I guess it's somewhat refreshing from the opposite of standard horror, where they just have pages and pages of evidence of what's going on. And they just go, I don't know. I'm just gonna go do something.
I feel like
stupid.
It's kind of weird how they're able to figure out what's going on off of very little information, and somehow they always guess exactly right.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird. It just feels it really. And that's another thing, which is I feel the pacing is terrible.
Oh yeah,
it's way
all
too
over
short.
The place. Things happen way too fast, and then there's like breaks of like nothing, and then a bunch of stuff happens, and it's just like,
yeah,
it's all over the place, and it sucks.
I think if it had another 20 minutes added to the runtime, it probably would have been a lot better. At least in that regard, it would have still been an Alien ripoff, but it would have been a better Alien ripoff.
A better Alien ripoff.
Because if you're gonna rip off Alien, do it right. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing was the character. One of the main Nancy there. She pretty much as a character existed to only be the girl who screams a lot. It's like a lot of horror movies. To be real, a lot of the really budget crap
they
horror
always
movies.
Have at least one.
The budget crap.
Always
ones.
at least one.
Not always. Yeah. The better ones are again Alien, Ripley.
Yeah.
But the crap ones, it's the schlocky ones that cost nothing to make and release. There's always that girl who she does nothing but scream.
Yep.
And that's her, and maybe in some cases be the love interest, and also possibly die.
Yeah, and so, usually on those cases they somehow, like this time, they don't have any common sense. They scream over everything and somehow survive until near the end.
Yep.
Sometimes they do die pretty quickly, but they got to stick around so they can scream all the time.
Scream.
They often also get someone else killed.
Yep. Is that too?
Yeah.
Another thing is I half expecting, because this is being a ripoff and being cliched, I'm like half expecting Lily and Jiro to like kiss or something then, just because why not? Even though there's nothing there.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing there, but it kind of like
I was half expecting it. I was kind of half expecting just because why not? Let's just hit another cliche.
Yeah, especially like right at the end.
Yep.
Never happened. You could definitely tell
Especially-
something was, they were trying to start something, but it never really
Yeah,
went
also
anywhere.
especially looking at the theatrical poster there, it's like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He said, nope, nothing really
Yeah.
happens. They barely talk to each other.
Yeah. Another thing about Nancy is the cat.
Oh yeah, the cat. It's her
It's
cat.
Her cat.
Her cat named Lily.
She's also, I believe, family of the CEO or something like that.
She's I can't remember.
I want to say she's like the daughter.
Daughter or something. Yeah, daughter or niece or something like that.
Something like that. I don't remember.
President's daughter.
But, yeah, president's daughter. And that's actually why the robot cat was based on it, because, it's a family cat.
Yeah, makes sense.
Also, her entire point of going on the journey was vanity.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to go, I think it was her sister or friend.
A friend
or
of hers,
something. Yeah, that she wanted to go, come back, go, haha, I'm 40 years later, you're an old hag, and I'm still young.
Yep.
That was it. That was her entire purpose for going.
A lot of these people aren't very good people.
Yep.
Yeah, Jiro, his whole thing, like, because early on, they turns out the spaceship crew gets a message from the corporation saying, hey, there's 2 people on board who forged their passes, and they're not supposed to be there, and they're criminals, and here are their identities. Message cuts out.
Yep. Rather cliche.
Of course. So now there's 2 imposters. More timeliness.
Also quite poignant.
I don't know. Dick's kind of sus. Yeah, that's the other thing, is that's pretty appointed name. The detective's name is Dick.
Right. We should also mention he's a detective.
Yep. Yeah, it turns out, he's one of the imposters, and the whole thing was arranged because he was trying to find the one guy who's actually a criminal who got on board.
Yep. Who turns out it's Jiro.
Yeah, it's Jiro, because Jiro murdered 3 guys, but he murdered them because these guys got his sister into the drug world, and then I'm guessing the implication she probably OD'd and died.
That's what I'm thinking. Or was killed or something.
Anyway, he murdered 3 dudes, and the detective's bringing him in because 1, he murdered 3 dudes, and 2, he messed up his case because by murdering those 3 dudes, he screwed up his case at trying to get the bigger guys in the organization or whatever.
Yep.
So it's like, well,
yep.
Yeah, and he even does this whole thing like he kind of another thing. He is a huge jerk the entire time. It's like, yep, you live up to your name, all right.
He's a dick.
Dick is a dick who also happens to be a dick.
Yep.
Yeah, it's because he's the one who's kind of going around trying to interrogate everyone because, that's what he's doing. And then Jiro figures out he's a detective because, he actually arrests Jiro. Yeah, he handcuffs Jiro to himself. And, and then he refuses to, and he says, I lost the key. It's like, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't. He's just
And then Jiro almost dies because of that, because when Dick, becomes a part of the monster thing.
Yeah, when Dick finally gets affected by the bacteria.
Yeah, because the bacteria...
Yeah, that's another thing. They find out everyone's infected. It's like, yeah, at this point, we're all infected and we're all about to turn.
The other thing, the bacteria is also just wrecking the ship as well, because it's...
it's corroding it.
Yeah, corroding everything. Almost everything.
Yeah. Almost, yeah.
Except for the stuff that's somewhere near this computer, because the magnetic fields or something like that.
Yeah.
They don't
the whole
explain it super well other than,
field.
Shut up, it's fine.
Which is like...
This part's fine, shut up, don't worry about it.
If that was true, there'd be a lot of things different. Also, you'd have a cure pretty darn quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that the bodies dissolve into like this pink goo, then parts become parts of this giant goo tentacle eyeball monster thing.
Yeah, it's sort of formless.
Yeah.
Goo, it creates tentacles, and like parts of the bodies will like reform and show themselves, and eyeballs will pop up, and it's going around and killing things. It's probably the coolest thing about the entire movie.
Oh yeah, the real Lily dies because gets
that was actually a pretty gruesome scene.
Yep.
That was the first really gruesome scene, and it was probably one of the biggest. So yeah, there's holes in the wall made by the corrosion. This is one of the first ones they find. They looking for the cat, and they find the cat as it's being pulled through the wall, and it gets just ripped apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and blood coming down the wall, because of course.
Blood.
Yeah, and also they have to start jettisoning or pods. Well, actually, the computer starts jettisoning pods for them because it's trying to jettison everything so it can get back to Earth with the. Yeah, it's like.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they found the robot Lily, and Yeah, and this one is the interesting thing is they kind of give it away because when that cat's walking around, you hear the clunk, clunk, clunk because it's not a real cat.
It's not a real cat.
And you find out, this cat's like was doing this whole thing is because the corporation decided we're just going to do this mission without the people. The people are expendable. Because of course.
Because of course.
Evil corporations, which is not exactly unbelievable, as we are all well aware by now.
Yep, they totally would do something like that.
Wayland Yutani, I guess.
Yep.
Wait, no, this is Syncam. This is not Alien.
It's just totally Alien.
Shh. It's not Alien. Even though, the makeshift flamethrowers and everything. I mean, come on. It's a welding torch. That sure is one heck of a welding torch.
Yeah.
This is just a thing. And then even escaping on a space shuttle, actually.
Yeah, so, they jettison all the pods and they're like, oh, well, you have to survive. We're going to get you down to the planet because...
How? All the pods are gone.
How? All the pods are gone. The hangar's dead. I have one more.
Because it's my toy that I never want to get rid of.
Yep.
And turned out to be an old space shuttle.
Yeah.
And they totally entered the atmosphere completely wrong. You don't go in nose first. You have to go in with the bottom of the spacecraft first because that's where all the heat-resistant panels are.
Yep. You have to be... Yeah. That's how you have to do it.
But no, whatever.
No, nose first, because whatever.
But yeah, and also, of course, the monster was on the spaceship as well, and then it got burned up in the thing. Also, all the voices of the people who died were yelling at them to help while they're inside the space shuttle.
Help me! Yeah, it was trying to form the images of the body and
It was odd.
The different people, and then the whole butterfly thing.
Yeah, the whole thing about...
And then to realize that them escaping is still pointless because they're already infected and they're just going to turn into the monster anyway.
Yeah, I think something, I don't know.
That's what they said.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, it's just like, whatever.
Oh yeah, and the captain there, he also sacrificed himself to get them out because he's just, he's like, my life's messed up anyway.
Yep. That may be a real captain one more time.
Go down with the ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is like, that's the whole thing right there. It's like, okay, this ship is going to try to go back to Earth with all its research and everything. It's like, we're just going to decide to screw over the corporation because...
Well, that and the whole it's infected.
Yeah. Yeah,
don't let it get
the
back
other thing that sounds like a large chunk of their motivation was just screw the corporation, which understandable.
Understandable. Gotta give them credit for that one.
Yeah, but it's just, again, it's an Alien ripoff. It's not particularly good. It pacing's all over the place. One thing I will say in positive for it, though, is the music's really good. It's that nice 80s synth. It's real good soundtrack.
It is pretty good.
Yeah, for that, I definitely was like, ooh, that. And then you listen to, yeah.
Yeah. Too bad the visuals suck.
Yeah. I mean, some of the animation was actually all right.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a few places. In general, the animation's pretty good, and there's a few scenes that are pretty cool. Just the pacing screwed up some of them, like the whole near the end when they're going through the hallway and the whole hallway starts erupting in tentacle stuff. That looked pretty good until they get to the end. All of a sudden, they're just like they're there at the end. There's the pacing problems again.
Yep. It's kind of horror. It's not very much. It's not the jump scare kind of horror. It's more of the kind of the dread and suspense type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think it does a very good job of that. So you just kind of like, eh. You get to the point of like, I don't care about the character so much. I'm just, you get to that point. You shift to, okay, maybe the deaths will look cool. Not really.
Not really.
It's like, oh, dang it. I guess that's that.
I think the cat had the most gruesome death.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
And just you wind up kind of like hoping that something, and there's kind of just nothing ever really happens, to be honest. And you're like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's for a suspense and tension kind of a horror. The pacing is way too fast.
Yep. It just goes too. It really needed a good like 20 minutes or so of extra runtime just to do things.
Yeah, among other things, but yes.
I mean, I almost forgot the whole thing about the weird butterflies and stuff. Because, the implication is, like, I think the bacteria more or less forces them to morphize into some other creature, and they may or may not still be aware. It's kind of vague. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
and it seems like
they don't explain it.
Yeah, it seems like they're kind of also absorbed into a singular entity, and it's I don't know what's going on. And it seems like, yeah, it's whatever this creature, it can also reform their old forms while attached to them, because, yeah, or something.
Yeah, you could see like the tentacles would sort of like, especially near the end on the shuttle, that it was like starting to form the original body again inside of a tentacle as it was screaming.
Yeah, it was weird.
And the cat would show up again inside of it too.
Yeah, so it's like,
Yeah.
it's almost like the Flood.
Almost like Flood.
Yeah.
Except that usually they don't reform the bodies in
but
the Flood.
At least the like the memories and consciousness, or not really consciousness, but definitely memories at least.
The memories and
at the very least.
Such, yeah.
It's and whatnot. So it's also able to mimic the voices of the people or something. I don't know. It's strange.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not particularly great.
It's not great. I've seen worse,
terrible,
but
there's better horror out there. There's better Japanese horror out there.
I don't recommend it.
I don't know, if you're bored one afternoon and got an hour to kill, I mean,
I guess
there's worse ways to spend your time.
There are definitely worse ways to spend your time.
Yeah.
But this is definitely not one of the better ones.
No, it's not. It's very. I have no idea about what the dub's like either, because I watched the sub, but
yeah.
It's
maybe it's like a Ghost Stories kind of a thing.
I don't think so. No, that's Ghost Stories is a unique thing in of itself. I found out the animation studio behind the Studio Pierrot apparently did some work for The Legend of Korra.
Interesting.
Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. Man, they've been around for a while and they're still doing stuff. Tokyo Mew Mew. Let's see, where's Bleach. Let's see, Naruto. Yeah, more Naruto. I'm trying to just Tokyo Ghoul. Oh, I know about that one. Just seeing what some of the stuff they did. Black Clover. Oh, okay. That one, I do not like that.
They have some repertoire, though.
Yeah, they definitely have a long history, just like, Sunrise.
Yeah.
Sunrise still going. Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho. I know that name. Man, that's Naruto and Bleach, though.
Yeah. Those are two really, really big ones.
Yep. Honestly, unless you're just really bored, skip this.
Yep.
It's
not really worth it.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. If I could find the soundtrack for them, maybe I might try to find that, but.
Okay, the soundtrack, yeah.
Soundtrack slaps. I guess that's it. This is going to be a really short one, because there's really not a whole lot of substance in this movie. Took a gamble, didn't quite pan out, but whatever. It happens.
Yeah.
Beneficial for me, because now this edit will be real quick.
Yeah. This is going to be a short episode, because there's nothing left to really
I'm trying to really think. I'm blanking.
Yeah. I mean, nothing else is really worth mentioning. Like we mentioned, the toy thing was a sort of a Chekhov's gun.
Oh, yeah, that. Yep.
Yeah, because they mentioned at the very beginning, they bring things like, how the hell did they even allow them to bring a gun in the first place? I don't know, but they all kind of brought their own thing. Like,
yep. The gun.
I hope I have the names, because I forgot the names already. Nancy brought her cat. Morgan brought his gun. And I was like, oh, they all bring their toys. And the captain says he brought his toy. Oh, you still brought that old thing? Every time. But they never say what it is and then we find at the very end, oh, there's the toy. It's the shuttle.
Yep. Well, there's Carolyn.
I guess it's a... Yeah, Carolyn.
His first mate or whatever, she died after she went and explored a corridor by herself like a stupid person, because that's what you do in horror movies.
Yeah.
She seems so smart up until that point, too.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, well.
And then Dorothy, who goes and checks her lungs,
because she's the one who goes, wait a minute. And but she dies right after she finds out what happens. Oh, well.
Yep.
That's it for this, I think. There's really not much else to say.
Yeah, we'd be pulling at straws here. One grasping at straws, yeah. One thing, it just came to mind. It seemed like, or at least I felt like at first when watching it, it felt like they're trying to imply that the cat was killing them.
Yeah.
It was weird.
I think they tried to do a fake out. The way they set it up, that it didn't work out.
Like, oh, it's the cat, but it didn't really pan out very well. Because it was a subtle... It kind of feels like they want me to believe the cat's doing it, but that doesn't seem right, is how it felt to me.
Yeah.
It's like, They tried and failed at yet another thing in this movie.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you enjoyed what you heard, you can listen to past and future episodes at newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled Libsyn. If you want to check that out. Most of our episodes are longer than this one. Actually, all of them so far are longer than this one.
This is probably our shortest so far.
We usually... This might happen again. I don't know. We'll take a random gamble at some point in the future on something else, but who knows. But yeah, we talk about stuff there. You can subscribe to our RSS feed there. You can also find us on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. You can search for New to Weeaboo on any of those and find us. There's also Google Play, but that's being phased out as we speak, I guess, slowly.
Yeah.
We're also on Amazon Podcasts, although that right now is not listed on the Libsyn site because I got to fix that because they did something weird. Like, I applied, it was approved, and now Libsyn did this whole separate thing, and now I have to figure out how to get that to mesh. I'm gonna have to contact Libsyn. Hey, listen, I already got our podcast on there. Could you just manually add it for me? I don't want to. I don't want to see what happens if I try to apply twice.
Yeah.
But yeah. So just search for us and you can subscribe and can comment and whatnot, particularly on YouTube.
Yep.
All that stuff. You can also contact us via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. If you have questions, comments, criticisms, anime recommendations, what did you think? Did you ever watch Lily Cat? I don't know. It seems kind of obscure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely an older... I'm not sure how many people watched it. Maybe curiosity because they saw it on a Retro Crush. That's where we watched it.
Yep.
And it's free there, at least. That's the other thing. Don't ever pay to watch this.
Yeah, don't. Not worth it.
So yeah, you can contact us that way. You can also follow us on Twitter @NewToWeeaboo. We'll post the episodes that come out, random anime nonsense as we also think of it and whatnot. There's that. And you can also follow our personal accounts. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1 and he's at Alcatraz and 717 and an underscore at the end. Transformers for me again. You just retweet.
Yep. I don't have much to say on Twitter.
I also be really careful about what you say on Twitter, and if you're going to say things, be kind of vague about it so you don't get banned.
Yeah.
That's it for this one. Tune in next time. We'll be talking about something a bit newer, School Live.
Yes.
Yes, more horror.
More
whoops,
horror,
did I
but it's
spoil
slightly
it?
different.
Not really,
It's
though.
October. On this, the 4th day of Halloween.
Yep. Halloween lasts all month now. I don't make the rules.
Yep. That's just the way it is.
Yep. Anyway, hope you enjoy your more housebound Halloween.
Yeah.
At least somewhat. Watch out for the skeletons, all that stuff, and
give trick-or-treaters candy with a slingshot.
Yep. Deliver by a slingshot. Make sure to only buy hard candy.
So many Jolly Ranchers.
All the Jolly Ranchers. And what was it? Those Nows and Lighters, I guess. Those are pretty hard.
Oh, yeah.
Or Pez dispensers. Whack!
Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
candy corn.
yeah, we'll see you next time, guys. So,
Yep.
goodbye.
See ya.